What clubs should you use around the greens? Let's do it.
Let's do it now.
Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching my content, first of all guys, welcome to the channel. Second of all, Foxy, what have they got to do?
Got to subscribe, got to like this content, and got to ring the notification bell.
And ring the notification bell, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You join us today at the beautiful Aphrodite Hills Resort here in Cyprus, and this is another episode of the Beginner's Race to Dubai. So, Foxy, we've been playing quite a lot of golf over the last few days, more golf than ever before.
Yep.
Played your first ever 18 holes the other day and loved it.
Yep.
A few things around the greens which we need to work on, isn't there? Because I'm a huge believer that... Are you that tall?
I am. To get down a bit.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, that's perfect, thank you. Because I'm a huge believer that technique is only so important in short game, and obviously that's a very loose statement because it is very important, but shot selection is also as important, and it's very important that you know which shot you can play in what situation and what circumstances and what percentage chance you're going to have success. Because yesterday you sometimes played really good shots but with a lob wedge or with an 8-iron when you needed the 8-iron or the lob wedge.
Yeah.
So today we've got 3 clubs here. We've got your putter, your sand wedge and your 8-iron. We've also got 3 balls. We've got another one.
3 there.
There's 3 there.
Oh.
I can't see. We've also got 3 golf balls, and we're going to put you in different locations, and you're just going to play 1 shot with each, obviously because you only get 1 shot on the golf course.
Yep.
So this is where a lot of you guys at home could learn from this. It's a nice drill you can do. It's a nice practice session you can do. Take notes. So we're going to write down which club gets the closest each time and which club doesn't get the closest each time. So the best and the worst, and from there you'll know a little bit more when you do play golf what percentages you're going to have of doing it.
Yep.
Should we start?
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. Let's keep it nice and simple to start. So we're going to go from here to that hole there, that far one, okay?
Far one.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Just watch the water on the other side.
Yep.
So what do you want to start with?
I'm going to start with the old... as soon as I've got my glove on, I'll start. I think it will be the highest risk.
Highest risk. So you know that this is a sand wedge, yeah?
Yeah.
Why is it the highest risk?
There's more variables to get right.
Yeah.
Trajectory, landing zones.
Technique has to be a bit more on point, doesn't it? Okay.
As I've already found out.
Yeah. So the first shot kind of went, but let's do it.
Let's do it now.
Happy with that? Oh, 1 down. That's got in water on it. But it was a good strike.
Lovely.
Great technique. Not a bad opening shot, mate, that one.
I think I'll take
A little bit
that.
thin, was it maybe? Not your best strike,
Not
but
my
got away
best.
with it?
Got away with
Yeah.
it.
And what we'll do as well, we'll vary kind of the order that you go in as well with these clubs, so it won't just be sand wedge, 8-iron, putter every time. We'll start with different ones and finish with different ones as well. This is your most comfortable shot, isn't it?
I'd say so.
Ooh.
Not really judged that green right well, though, have I?
No.
I didn't know.
And let's be fair, there's 1 shot that you're going to do from here normally, isn't there? Putter. Come on, get this one close.
Line it up or not, pal?
You can't on here, can you?
No,
Not on the green.
On the fringe.
This is the new technique we've adopted because of the lesson with Chris. Gets him a little bit more stable. Tell you what, watch this as well. All day, must be. So if we take a look at these balls now, we've got the first shot here, which was the sand wedge. So that's coming in at 2nd place. The putt's coming in 1st place, which I think we all knew it was going to. And the 8-iron, which was just a little bit firm, that's got, and this is what you used to do, so you give yourself a harder shot than the actual shot you were playing.
And then I'm going from one side of green to the other side of green.
Exactly, right, let's pick those up. Right mate, location 2. This is a little bit more difficult, so it's a very similar shot, but we've got some rough to go through, then some fairway to go through, then obviously a bit of downhill green to go for. We're going to go for this nearest flag here.
Yep.
What shot would you go for here?
Here, I'd be probably looking at me 8-iron, but
Okay.
so saying I've said that, we'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll start with that one this time. So putter's leading the race so far, and I've got a sneaky suspicion that I think the putter might well be the club to beat no matter what scenario. There's always the opportunity, unless you've got to go over a bunker or a lake or something, that the putter could well be the club that you use. Oh, he's going. Sorry. Hold on, hang on.
You want to go again?
No. That's not a bad shot, but you know we're going for that one, don't you?
I do know we're going for
Yeah,
that one.
okay, just so you know, that's fine.
Just do it with my hands on my hip.
So now what? Should we go putter?
Go putter.
Now this is an interesting one because you'd never really teach someone to put through that, but it's always an option, isn't it?
It's always an option.
It's always an option. Like, as long as you hit it firm enough through there, you need a little bit of luck. You can't really judge it as well as you could maybe a sand wedge or an 8-iron, but it could well be the lesser of the two evils, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Or three evils. Or three positives. Now look at that. Look at that for a shot. And this is exactly where I was hoping this video would go.
Yeah.
Yeah? Learning already, are we? So guys, as I said, we are taking stats down. We're noting down which one wins, which one loses. You can go as far in depth with that as you want. So you could write down how many feet away you are, then take an average. Not missing this one.
Have a little practice, Babette.
Yep. Great shot. That's a wonderful golf shot again. So is that the same order? Putt wins, sand wedge second, 8-iron last.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting for me because I think that massively... Are you coming to get these?
Yeah, I'm just having a think, mate.
Because I think massively that the 8-iron bump and run is your favourite shot.
And it's turning out to putting me in some hot water, isn't it?
And this happened yesterday as well. It happened on the golf course where there is a time and a place for a bump and run. I totally and utterly agree. But
for me, it's not close up, is it?
it's not close up, but it's not all the time either. Because we're seeing now already that you're struggling with distance control because that one's too long and the last one was too long as well.
Yep.
So obviously then you can say, well, if we want to make that shot, then we work on that, which is something which then you are learning through this practice and through this drill that, okay, my putting's okay from the fringe, my sand wedge is pretty good from the fringe, my bump and run needs some work.
My bump and runs were rubbish.
So exactly, so then we assess it.
Yes. Let's go again.
Yep. I'll let you pick this time, mate. Thought we'd make things a little bit more interesting now. So 3 balls on the fringe, but then we're going to go right down there. So that furthest one down the slope.
This is difficult.
This is a difficult one.
So
Very difficult.
Go putter for this.
Okay, start with putt, yep. What shot would you play?
I would definitely play putter from here.
Okay, yep. I think most people would, to be fair. The only thing that I might say is if you are really good with a wedge, you could maybe spin it down there and get it to stop, but then...
I would say with putter, we're downhill, it's going to keep going, so I've got to get quite a few things right, haven't I?
We have, mate, yep. This is going to be... I tell you what, if I had the legs, I'd run. He's hold it. It's gone in. Oh! I'm not sure you're going to get closer than that.
I don't think I think we just call it that.
Video over, lesson learnt.
Yes. Putter, so.
Which one's this? Sand? 8.
8.
Glove on. Always make it like you would on the course.
Yep.
This is another nice one as well. That's not going to be quite as good, it just needs to catch that ridge. Try going a bit more. It's not a bad effort, is it? I think personally if you did that on the course, you'd be fairly happy with it, wouldn't you?
I'd be more happy with both.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. Right, now this is almost like a party trick now, isn't it, from here? You just wouldn't choose it realistically.
I really would.
As a high handicap golfer, I mean, if you're a pro or a low handicap, that's up to you. You know what's in your arsenal, don't you? But right, come on, let's prove everyone.
Like a massive divot out of the nice.
Yeah, prove us all wrong. Oh, he's played an absolute worldie as well. Why have you done that? Great shot.
Let's go and have a look.
Well guys, we've got to hand it to him there. That is 3, I mean that's the hardest chip so far, isn't it? 3 awesome golf shots, and we can see here that we've got the 8-iron that came up a little bit short. Now this is quite a big downslope, I don't know if you can see that on the video, but then we've got the ball on the right hand side, which was the sand wedge. That's the closest shot, and then the putter's coming at a solid second place. So Generally, rule of thumb we're seeing there that the 8-iron again's come last. The putt was fantastic. I'd have no problem with you leaving it there. I don't think anyone would have a problem with leaving it there.
Really happy with that. To be fair, it very nearly went in.
It did very nearly go in, and you've had a worldie of a chip shot, haven't you? Let's move on. Right, mate, location 4, quite a difficult lie. Obviously, it is maintenance time here, so we've got quite a lot of sand down. That makes it difficult, doesn't it, for ball striking?
Yes, it does.
We've seen that on the range, and you know what? I've given you a shot here, which I think is almost impossible. We're going for that right-hand flag there, and you can sort of see that there's a big ridge in the way. This is where, what would you do?
I think I would favour a sand wedge trying to get up and over to just land on top.
And that's the right answer, because that's what most golfers kind of will be trying to do. But as a high handicap or a beginner or just trying to make a score, I've got no problem with an 8-iron bump and run to the middle of the green, then put across, or maybe even a putt doing the same thing.
Putt might be a winner.
Yeah. So, but let's see. We're only here to test, mate, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And that's always an option. Like, we're going to keep that in, because that can happen to anyone at any time.
Yeah, I found it. It has happened.
It has happened a lot. But is it ever going to happen with a putter?
Here we go.
And this is where we talk about percentages and how many shots it's potentially cost you, isn't it?
Yep.
So you've started with the sand wedge to have the glove on, then you've gone putter to take the glove off, and you're going to go 8-iron to put the glove back on.
That's making things difficult, don't it?
If this goes close, I'll run up the hill. That's me running. Oh no, it's just deviated off. Very tough shot, very tough shot. Probably biting off a bit more than you can chew, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right, let's rescue the 8-iron now. And really, this is going to end up being maybe the best of a bad bunch.
It is, because I think I've realised the
severity of the shot.
lay of the land as well, yeah.
Yeah. Always learning though, aren't we?
Yep.
Great shot. Great shot. Probably a little bit long, is it?
Still too long, yeah.
I think we're on the green there though, so that's a win for the 8-iron, because you're still putting. And generally, this is what you might find. You might find that one of the shots wins because you've maybe just had a bit of a nightmare with the other two. And that's generally what's happened here. Like, you really would not want this as a shot, would you? Back up to that flag there.
I wouldn't, but I think I prefer that one to that one.
Yeah, well, I don't know with your chipping, because if you think about it, you've still got to go over that horrible ridge, haven't you?
Yeah.
Whereas there you can just kind of dink it on with the wedge, so it depends how confident you are with the chipping. So that is a win for the 8-iron, followed by, are we going to call that one second place?
Yeah.
For the putt?
Yeah.
And then the, because let's be fair, the sandwich was a duff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, right, final location. Right, final location, and we have a little bit of sand to go over. So we're going down to this bottom pin here. This is one where we've had a bit of a conversation about this, and we could say that the putter is totally discounted from this test because, well, you can't put it over a bunker, can you? But my argument with that is, if you play a bad shot with a sand wedge, this is a tough shot anyway, no matter what club you're using. If you play a bad shot with the 8-iron, they both end up in the bunker. Anyone can put round this bunker to the middle of the green, use a little bit of the slope. You're going to be left with a 30-40 footer, but it's better than being in the bunker. I don't want to see that scenario play out. I want you to play a nice one with the 8 and the sand wedge, but it's always an option. Well, we're going first, 8. Maybe open the face up a little bit. It was never the shot, was it?
Exhibit A.
Yeah, never the shot. Because you see, really, you've got two options here. You either play it mega safe, which I've got no problem with beginner golfers doing.
You take high risk.
Or you take high risk. You don't go in between, because that's pointless. Come on, Phil Mickelson special. Oh, great shot. It's going to run down a little bit. It's going to hit that bloke, but no, he's okay. Oh, he's seen it. He's seen it. He's pretending he hasn't. Oh, he's moved. He's not happy about that. He's not happy at all. Right, now, so you missed the green with both of them.
Yep.
So, although we're saying this is definitely not the shot, play this as you can, mate. And this is one where you're not always apologised as well. Is he okay with that?
I don't know. I think he's angry.
Right, come on. So, as safe as you can, safe as houses. And actually, it's sort of played out that way in that it's probably not going to be too difficult a chip from down there with the sand wedge. This is one of the hardest shots in golf, to be fair. We definitely don't want that one. I'm not too sure about the one down there.
Back up here.
And that one there is on the green and you're putting.
Yep.
So then it all comes down to how good your long putting is.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Timmy 2 putt.
Timmy 2 putt, exactly. How we end up with foot, or has he brought it back?
He's nailed it back, yeah.
Not happy. So guys, after those 5 very different locations, let's take a look at just which club stood out and which club we think maybe you should use this afternoon in these situations. If we look at these stats that I'm going to throw up on the screen now, you will see that location 1, the putt won, sandwich came second, 8-iron came third. Location 2 was exactly the same. Location 3, the long one downhill, you played a worldie of a sandwich. To be honest, the putt was an absolute worldie as well. The 8-iron was okay, but a little bit short. Location 4, the tough one up the hill. 8-iron won because you just kind of played it middle of the green and got it up there. The putt came second because we just kind of de-greened it, we didn't quite read it well enough, and we duffed the sandwich, so not quite great. Location 5 around the bunker, we went with the sandwich, it was down there, it was playable, so that's okay. I was trying to get his back, look. See what you've done now, you've upset people.
Ooh.
Honestly. Although we are stood in the middle of the green doing...
I'll have a beer with him in a bit, we'll
have a beer. And then the putt was okay, just middle of the green, very, very safe. The 8-iron was a nightmare, duffed into the bunker. If we look at the law of averages, the putts won twice, the sandwiches won twice, the 8-irons only won once, but the 8-irons come last 4 times.
We'll say sandwich and putter.
Sandwich and putter, and I definitely think the putter is the way to go a lot of the time, as long as you don't have to go over something or something like that. Guys, we really hope you've enjoyed that. We really hope it helps your golf as well. It's a test that you can do. Obviously, don't just go and use putter because Foxy's found that using putter helps. It needs to be specific for you. Take as much data as you can if you want to measure them afterwards, and take things like that if that's what you like. If you like maths, I'm alright with it, really, to be fair. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to the guys here at Aphrodite Hills for hosting us. What a beautiful venue. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave us a like. Make sure you follow Foxy in his race to Dubai. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow.